The Denver morning was biting. A thin layer of March snow clinging to the sidewalks. Inside the sleek glass building of Peak Pulse Logistics, Sophia Harper, 36, stepped off the elevator, her breath still fogging from the chill outside. For 7 years, she'd poured her soul into this mid-sized logistics firm, transforming its Rocky Mountain division into a powerhouse. She'd led her team through the 2021 supply chain chaos, executed a flawless data migration, and driven 27% growth for 2 straight quarters. But today, her heart was a lead weight. 3 days ago, her father had died, a freak slip on icy pavement while shoveling his driveway. She'd gotten the call mid-meeting, her phone buzzing with the hospital's number. She'd requested 3 days of bereavement leave, approved by her boss, CEO Ryan Kessler, with a curt email, "Take care of family." Understood. Now, back in the office, Sophia barely settled at her desk when an email notification pinged. The subject line hit like a slap: termination notice, effective immediately. Her pulse spiked. She clicked, eyes scanning the screen. "Sophia, please clear your desk and complete exit paperwork with HR by 5 p.m. today." No condolence, no meeting, just a sterile paragraph erasing 7 years of loyalty. The attached file cited her failure to maintain presence during a critical operational phase. A bitter laugh escaped her lips. Attending her father's funeral was an unacceptable absence? She reread the email, disbelief morphing into clarity. The office around her felt alien now, every detail a ghost of her dedication. The group photo from the Vail retreat she'd partly funded so everyone could join. The birthday card, signed by her entire team, propped beside her monitor. The tiny cactus, a Christmas gift from her crew, still thriving in its clay pot. Each item screamed of late nights finishing the Lawson project, of laughter and shared victories. Now, they were just relics. No tears, no outburst. Sophia opened her phone, snapped a screenshot of the email, and forwarded it to her personal inbox. She powered down her computer, grabbed a cardboard box from the supply closet, and began packing. It was just past 8 a.m., the office still hushed. She wrapped the cactus carefully in tissue, unhooked the Vail photo from its frame. The door swung open, and Sarah Vega, head of operations, froze mid-step. "Sophia, what's going on?" Her voice was sharp with concern. "I've been fired," Sophia said, her tone steady but laced with acid. "Fired? For taking leave for your dad's funeral?" Sarah's face twisted in disbelief. "Ryan approved it," Sophia nodded, folding the photo into the box. "Guess he had a change of heart. Or never meant it." She kept packing as colleagues trickled in, their shock rippling through the room. Matt Ruiz, head of analytics, slammed his fist on a desk. "This is insanity. No one knows the Southwest routes like you." Some dialed hour, demanding answers, but Sophia stayed quiet. The company's actions spoke louder than any defense. When Ryan appeared, stiff in his tailored suit, avoiding her gaze, she met his silence with her own. "No need to explain," she said, turning away, not out of defeat, but because she knew silence could cut deeper than words. In hour, Sophia set her box on a chair. Lauren Miles, a new HR specialist from Seattle, whispered, "Sophia, oh God, it's true." Her eyes brimmed with sympathy. Sophia's voice was calm. "Just need the paperwork. It's clear now." Lauren hesitated, glancing at the half-open door, then leaned in. "I found out this morning. This wasn't discussed in any executive meeting. Ryan sent an email at 11 p.m. last night. No one was looped in." Sophia nodded, unsurprised. She'd sensed the betrayal's shape the moment she saw the email. Lauren slid a folder across. Termination form. Confidentiality agreement. Severance details. 2 weeks' pay and a 4-month non-compete clause spanning a 250-mile radius. Sophia raised an eyebrow. 4 months. Across the West? They're trying to bury my career over a personal grudge. Lauren sighed. Colorado's at-will laws let them hide behind this. But off the record? You've got a solid case. Sophia didn't respond immediately. She pulled up the termination email on her phone, setting it on the desk. Lauren's eyes widened. No documentation. No warnings. No legal review, just this? Sophia gave a single nod. That's why I'm not making a scene. I've got what I need. Lauren scribbled a number on a slip of paper and slid it over. This is a labor attorney who helped me in Seattle. If you need her. Sophia pocketed the note, her glance conveying gratitude. As she left a few colleagues lingered in the hall. No words, but Matt's light grip on her shoulder and a folded note from Tara. An intern she'd mentored, reading, "You're the reason I believed in this place." Hit harder than any speech. Outside, the snow crunched underfoot. The revolving glass door reflected Sophia. Box in arms, walking away from what once felt like home. She loaded the box into her car. Started the engine. Her phone buzzed. Matt. Worst move in company history. Tara. Anything you need. Just say. Nate. From dispatch. Ryan's in an emergency meeting. HQ's here. Sophia didn't reply. She gripped the wheel. Eyes forward. Refusing to look back. This wasn't over. That night, in her modest South Denver apartment, Sophia sat with a cold coffee, staring into the void. Her next step was unclear. But when her phone lit up with a call from Ethan Marshall, CEO of Horizon Logistics, Peak Pulse's biggest rival, something shifted. She'd met Ethan at a Vegas logistics summit a year ago, presenting her team's analytics system. He'd shaken her hand, saying, "If you ever leave Peak Pulse, call me first." She'd laughed it off then. Now, his voice was steady. "Sophia, words out about Peak Pulse. It's not gossip, it's outrage. No one believes they'd do this to the woman who landed the Irongate deal." She stayed silent, listening. "I'm not calling to console," Ethan said. "I'm offering you a job. Regional Executive Director, Mountain West Expansion, 35% salary bump. Full authority to build your team. And my legal team will handle that non-compete nonsense. What do you say?" Sophia exhaled, glancing at the melting snow outside. Streetlights casting soft glows. One door had slammed shut, but another was cracking open. She didn't answer yet, but deep down, she knew Peak Pulse wouldn't define her future. Not anymore. The glass-walled office of Horizon Logistics in downtown Denver buzzed with a new kind of energy. Sophia Harper, now 36, stood at the helm of the Mountain West Division. Her presence commanding yet warm. 3 months had passed since Peak Pulse Logistics blindsided her with a cold termination email after she took approved leave for her father's funeral. That betrayal had shattered her trust in a company she'd given 7 years to. But it also ignited a fire. At Horizon, Sophia wasn't just rebuilding her career. She was crafting a workplace where people mattered more than profit margins. And America, a nation of dreamers and doers, loves a comeback story like hers. Sophia's first week at Horizon was a whirlwind. She traded the corner office for the open workspace, rolling up her sleeves alongside tech specialists, dispatchers, and operations crew. "I'm not here to be a name on an email," she told her new team, her voice steady but earnest. "I'm here to build something real. With you." Her old team from Peak Pulse, Matt Ruiz, Taryn Nguyen, and Nate Carter, had followed her, each resigning after witnessing Peak Pulse's callous disregard. Together, they set out to prove that loyalty and compassion could drive success as much as spreadsheets and deadlines. Horizon's culture was a stark contrast to Peak Pulse's sterile hierarchy. Meetings weren't about posturing, they were collaborative, with interns' ideas given as much weight as executives. When a driver's daughter fell ill, Sophia organized a team fund to cover medical bills. No bureaucracy. Just action. "We don't leave people behind," she said, a mantra rooted in the pain of her own abandonment. Her approach paid off. Within months, Horizon's Mountain West Division reclaimed major clients Peak Pulse had lost: Steel Core Industries, Mountain Gear, and Titan Construction, each citing Sophia's reputation for reliability and integrity. Revenue soared 34% year over year. Profit margins climbed 18%. And an internal survey revealed employee satisfaction at an all-time high. A feat Horizon's CEO, Ethan Marshall, called damn near miraculous. Back at Peak Pulse, the fallout was catastrophic. Without Sophia's leadership, their systems unraveled. Matt texted her one evening, "It's chaos. They can't find your routing algorithms. And Ryan's scrambling to keep clients. Spoiler. He's failing. Tara added. Everest Group just delayed their contract. They want you back. Sophia didn't gloat. Peak Pulse's collapse wasn't her doing. It was the inevitable result of a company that valued ego over expertise. Clients like Steel Core and Titan jumped ship, citing management instability. The industry whispered about Peak Pulse's implosion, and Sophia's name became synonymous with the talent they'd squandered. Then came the call that stopped her cold. It was a crisp October morning, and Sophia was reviewing a new dispatch protocol when her phone rang. The caller ID read, Claire Donovan, Peak Pulse's new regional director. Sophia's stomach tightened. She'd never met Claire, but the name alone stirred memories of a place she'd vowed to forget. Hello, Ms. Donovan, she said, her tone cool but professional. How can I help you? Claire's voice was measured, almost apologetic. Sophia, I'm calling to apologize for how Peak Pulse handled your departure. I've reviewed the records, and frankly, I'm appalled. Sophia stayed silent, her fingers tracing the edge of her desk. We know you have every reason to hang up. Claire continued, but I'm asking you to consider returning as Regional Executive Director for the Western Division. 30% salary increase. Full authority to rebuild your team. And a seat at the strategic table. Sophia let out a sharp laugh. The kind that cuts through corporate pleasantries. Do you know what it felt like to pack my life into a box because I dared to bury my father? To walk out of a place I built. Like I was nothing? Claire sighed. I can't undo that. But I can change what's next. Sophia's voice hardened. What I needed was decency when I was grieving. Not a paycheck to fix your mess. She glanced at her team through the glass conference room, where Matt was sketching a new logistics model. Tara mentoring a new hire. I've built something here, she said. Something Peak Pulse could never understand. Claire pressed, her tone desperate. We'll raise it, 40% increase. Stock options. 3-year strategic control. Sophia shook her head, though Claire couldn't see. It's not about money, Claire. It's about principle. You don't get to buy back trust you threw away. After a long pause, Claire said, the offer's open if you change your mind. Sophia's reply was final. If Peak Pulse wants to learn why I left, start by treating people like humans, not assets. She hung up, her heart steady. The view of the Rockies outside her window felt like a promise kept, to herself. To her father's memory. Peak Pulse's demise accelerated. By November, its parent company, Apex Freight, was acquired by Meridian Logistics for a fraction of its value. The press release cited severe personnel crises and eroded client trust. Ryan Kessler, the CEO who'd fired Sophia, was ousted for abuse of authority and procedural violations. Industry blogs buzzed with the scandal. One headline in Logistics Weekly reading, When Loyalty Burns, Peak Pulse's Fall from Grace. Sophia didn't celebrate. Justice wasn't about revenge, it was about consequences catching up. A small package arrived at her office one frosty morning. Wrapped in brown paper with neat handwriting. A piece of the past for your new dawn. Inside was her cactus, the one she'd left behind at Peak Pulse, now sprouting new green shoots. A note from Jenna Brooks, a former Peak Pulse HR staffer. Read, I saved this before they cleared your desk. It's yours, like the strength you showed us. Sophia placed the cactus on her windowsill, where sunlight poured in. It wasn't just a plant, it was proof that even what's abandoned can thrive again. Sophia's success wasn't the title of executive vice president, earned 6 months into her tenure at Horizon. It wasn't the corner office with a view of the Cascades or the 95% employee approval rating in Horizon's surveys. It was the culture she'd built, a place where Nate could take leave for his son's surgery without fear. Where Tara's ideas reshaped routing protocols. Where Matt led with the confidence Peak Pulse had stifled. Her father's lesson echoed in every decision. You don't win by crushing others. You win by standing tall when they fall. At a team dinner in a cozy Denver bistro, Sophia raised a glass of sparkling cider. To us, she said, looking at Matt, Tara, Nate, and the new faces who joined her vision. Not for leaving Peak Pulse, but for building something better. The clink of glasses felt like a vow. Later, as she stepped onto the restaurant's balcony, the city lights glittering below, Sophia thought of her father. No regrets. Dad, she whispered. Not one. Her story wasn't about tearing down Peak Pulse. It was about rising above their mistakes. In a cutthroat world, Sophia proved that kindness and competence could outshine betrayal. And for every American who's ever been burned by a system that forgot their worth. Her journey is a battle cry. Build better. Be better. And never look back.